Welcome guys, Dan the Wolfman here. I'm going to tell you who the top 3 MMA fighters are of all time, and names you think would be on this list are not there. It would be a top 5 list, but the top 3 are so far ahead of the rest that it became a top 3 list. Because once you actually look at the history, not just the names that were promoted to you, but you look at the history, look at the people they beat, that's when you can tell who really are the top people. And names you think would be on the list are not there, so pay attention. Silva, no, not on the list. GSP, no, not on the list. Fedor, no, not on the list. People I thought were going to be on the list, and in the order I thought they were going to be, they fell off. I've been in MMA since 1995, pretty much. I've been involved in MMA. I've commentated 5 Pancrase events, Pancrase 270, 276 on UFC Fight Pass if you weren't familiar with me. Check it out. I fought 2 UFC light heavyweight contenders in Yuki Kondo and Jeremy Horn. I have 4 black belts, Brazilian Jiu-jitsu, Karate, Taekwondo, and from Judo, Jean LaBelle, and Gokar Shavician. So I know what I'm talking about, and the list isn't even what I thought until I really deep dive into it. So they're not the names necessarily that you would expect. Really, the guys that you would think 4 or 5 don't even, there's others that aren't even really when you look at the opponents. So what you got to look at is the quality of opponents who really beat world-class fighters. All right, so here's the list. Number 3 on the list, I thought he was going to be number 1, but he's not. Number 3 on this list, Demetrious Mighty Mouse Johnson. 30 wins, only 3 losses, never finished. Never finished. That's pretty big. 5 KO TKOs, 12 submissions with a 57% finishing rate. Pretty up there. Decision losses to Brad Pickett, Dominic Cruz, and split loss to Henry Cejudo. Who beat him in a round-winning wrestling-type strategy, who he previously TKO'd with knees to the body. He's got the highest fight IQ out there. He does the exact right thing at the exact right moment. Really, as far as brain processing power, I don't know if it's from all those video games or what, DJ's really the ultimate in doing the right thing at the right time. He's really kind of the perfect martial artist, honestly. He beat Kid Yamamoto, Miguel Torres, Ian McCall, Benavidez twice, Dotson, Jon Johnson twice. More importantly, beat Horiguchi. He beat Cejudo. He beat Ali Bagatinov. He beat Tim Elliott. So he's got a lot of good wins. Those guys, a lot of the guys he beat are close to really, really, really elite level, but were they really elite level? So he's not the first that I thought, he's third. But he beat a lot of the top guys that there were to offer. And really, if there was a real life Bruce Lee in MMA, it would be Demetrious Johnson. Number 2 on this list, if you can separate the fight game from his crazy personal life, is Jon Bones Jones, who gave me props before for definitely knowing what I was doing. You see Jon Jones give me props, but as a human being, as a person, well, we got to shove all those picograms, cocaine, and DUIs, and hitting people with cars, and all that stuff aside. But Jon Jones, 26-1 DQ, that he was totally dominating from Mount, versus Matt Hamill, gave him the 12-6 elbow from Mount. So really undefeated. 10 KOs, 6 subs, 61% finishing rate. 10 KOs, 6 subs. He beat Bader. That's important if you see what Bader's done in Bellator. Bader, Hua. Okay, we saw what Shogun did in, Pride days. Machida, who was UFC champ. Evans, who was UFC champ. Belfort, who was UFC champ. Sonnen, who has fought for titles. Gustafsson, Teixeira, Cormier twice, who's heavyweight champion. St. Preux, another big guy. DC the second time was turned into a no contest because of, Jones's extracurricular pico stuff, probably, or what he snorted or bought at a grocery store, I don't know. But as far as a fighter, it's hard to argue. He beat Gusta again. He beat Anthony Smith. He beat Thiago Santos, and he very questionably beat Dominic Reyes. Not finishing Smith, not finishing Santos, who was basically fighting on one leg the whole fight, and not definitely Ray's really not beating Ray's, in my opinion, many people's opinion. You have to wonder about his future. But on paper, he's still undefeated other than the no contest versus Hamill, which he really obviously was destroying him. So Jon Jones still, as far as names, that's a lot of champions, former champions. If you look at Bader, Jackson, Machida, Evans, Belfort, if you just look at that string right in there, those back-to-back wins, that's 6 in a row. Bader, Bellator champion, Shogun Rua was a Pride champion. Jackson, Machida, Evans, Belfort, all UFC champions. That's a heck of a run of 6 fights right there. I mean, look at his run. It's just huge. All right, so the number one, no Silva, no GSP, no Fedor. Who's the number one best MMA fighter ever? Amanda Nunes. Absolutely. Just she hasn't been promoted the right way. Never was. Rhoda's going to kill that girl. They didn't even know her name. Amanda Nunes, 19-4, 13 KOs or TKOs, 3 subs, 84% finishing rate. She's fought the highest level competition. I don't care if you're a WMMA fighter. If you look at the elite competition she faced, it's higher than anybody else. She finished elite fighters, former, current, or future champions in the first round. Julia Budd, Jermaine de Rondame, sorry, Jermaine de Rondame, Sarah McMahon, Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey, Cyborg, and Holly Holm. All right, McMahon wasn't a champion, but Olympic medalist. You know, that still means a lot to me, that silver medal in the Olympics. So Julia Budd, Jermaine, I still consider world class. Jermaine de Rondame, Sarah McMahon, Miesha Tate, Ronda Rousey, Cyborg, Holly Holm. Those are all first round finishes. Okay. She also decisioned the lighterweight champ Valentino Shevchenko twice. She, last fight, decision beat her yet again. Decision Jermaine de Rondame, who was a heavier 145-pound champion previously. Cyborg was a 145-pound champion that she knocked out in the first round. So by far and away, no Anderson Silva, nor Fedor that I thought was going to be on the list. If you actually look at the quality of opponents, not good opponents, a lot of people beat good opponents, but did they fight world-class, what I, in my vast experience, consider really, truly world-class fighters or, you know, champions of like UFC Pride? Amanda Nunes, baby. Amanda Nunes, Demetrious Johnson, and Jon Jones. They are so far ahead when you actually look on paper. Silva, GSP, Fedor. And then it's a big drop off from them. Who are the other guys? There's a lot of guys who had very good wins against like 4 or 5 other elite fighters. Frank Mir did. Fabricio Verdum did. But, you know, they didn't have as many or championship status or whatever. You go to the biggest tournament winner ever. So, guys, really the top 3 are by far. Let me know what you think. Please hit that subscription button wherever it is. I think reverse would be maybe that way. I don't know. Anyway, guys, hit that subscription button. Hit that notification button. Check out my playlist. Catch you on the flip side, homies. Oh, yeah. Combatives and Street Jiu-Jitsu. Combatives and Street Jiu-Jitsu. 30% off on 30% off. 4.5 hours. Combatives and Street Jiu-Jitsu on BJJ Fanatics. Combatives and Street Jiu-Jitsu on BJJ Fanatics. 4.5 hours. 30% off right now with the code TOGETHER 2020, guys. So if you want to learn from my experience how to defend yourself on the streets, add to your toolbox, check it out.